What's going on, everybody? This is Durka from Whataweeb, and we're here with a little should you pull video. So, should you pull Xuanzang when she comes out? Well, Xuanzang is the newest 5-star caster to grace our presence in Fate Grand Order. She is currently a limited servant, so if you want her earlier rather than later, I say get her now. But with the release of Camelot, which should be a couple of months, maybe 2 months, she does join the general pool. Hopefully, you guys can decide if you want to pull her now or wait till later. And hopefully, I can help you with that. So, Xuanzang. If you like Buddhist monks, gender bent, with amazing amounts of plot, pretty nice thighs, and massive palm strikes, well, she's here for you. Then again, apparently Xuanzang was played by females in a lot of Japanese shows and stuff. When I was doing a little bit of research. Interesting. But anyway, let's talk about our card setup. Quick arts buster with a Buster Noble Phantasm. So 3 arts cards, 1 quick, 1 buster. Very common setup for a 5-star caster. Look at Tamamo, look at Waver, for example. They maximize it being able to get their MP off, which is her whole point, honestly. She's all about using her MP. That's really all it's about. If you can spam her MP, you are set. But let's go into her skills so I can explain this a little further. High Speed Sutra Chanting A. Charges her own NP gauge, increases her own NP damage for 1 turn. Okay. This skill is really good. It is really good. At level 10, she charges her NP gauge by 80% and boosts her NP damage by 20%. Great way to get her MP charge up, and then right after lets her fire off a Buster MP. Almost, depending on the team, you could pretty much do this back-to-back NPs over like 2 turns. Simple. It's a very simple skill. Very easy skill, but it's good. It's just a good skill, so I love it. I love this skill on her. She's probably her best skill in my opinion. Moving on. Bewitching Rosy Cheeks. A. Another A-rank skill. Draws attention of all enemies to self for 1 turn, so a taunt, and reduces own damage taken for a turn, so damage reduction. Alright, so we got a taunt. That taunt at max level lowers the damage she takes by up to 1500 damage for 1 turn. But it's a taunt, she's gonna get hit. I really don't like this skill too much. Unless you're ready to sacrifice her, you want her to take all the aggro so she can die and someone else can come in. I see it being probably her worst skill. Honestly, it is her worst skill. So, I don't want to say anything else about it. Moving on. Last skill, Xuanzang's Teachings A. Well, this is actually a very good support skill. It increases the party's MP generation rate for 3 turns, which she loves because she's all about getting her MP off constantly. Increases the party's critical star generation for 3 turns, so it helps create a lot more stars, so these casters can use it and boost their NP even further by critting. And it grants party debuff immunity for 1 turn. That is really cool. So for 1 turn, you are immune to debuffs. No complaints there, right? That's a very good support skill. It can be used in a lot of different situations. A lot of like big bosses, they'll lower your defense. They'll maybe remove your skills or something, So before they do that, you pop this and you'll be safe, which is dope. Which is just dope. Now on to the passive skills. I want to say one thing: Territory Creation A+, amazing, great skill. All casters pretty much want, and they aim to have this in some capacity. A lot fall short of the A+ rank, but she does not. 11% boost to arts performance when you have 3 arts cards. Crazy. Unfortunately, she does not have an arts MP, otherwise it would be crazy. She'd be getting that MP off so quick, and then just doing arts change with her MP, and just keep it going. And secondly, Divinity D. A nice little damage increase. Just gotta be careful of those NPs and skills that do increase damage to Divine. So it's another thing to be careful of while you get like 150 damage boost, whatever it may be. Now on to her Noble Phantasm. Excuse me if I butcher this name. Wu Xing Shan Shija Rulai Zhang. 5 Elements Mountain Shaka Nyorai Palm. Alright, so I'm not really going to go into this skill before her Strengthen because I think it becomes... it's only good after the Strengthen. Well, not only, but it becomes really good after the Strengthen. So after the Strengthening, it's a B+ rank NP, anti-army, buster, 12 hit count, so it helps create some stars. The effect is that, though, it deals damage that ignores defense buffs to one enemy. As for the unstrengthened version, it does not ignore the defense buffs. So it's got a up to 1200% modifier, 800% at level 1. The overcharge effect is that it reduces their critical attack chance for 1 turn. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for like long drawn out boss fights, especially if you can keep spamming that NP. You pretty much stop them from critting, which is, I'm not complaining. Crits are, you guys have been doing the Shoot and Doji event. Crits are what ends all runs by accident. So very good skill to have. It's really the only 5-star caster we have right now that I believe is so damage centric. The next one I believe is Ilya, but that's not for like months. I think after Camelot we might get Ilya. And after MP upgrade, it becomes really strong as you can constantly do that same amount of damage. You know, defense buffs will not change anything. And lowering crit chance really just is a, you know, is a nice plus. And as you spam your NP, you're going to constantly do 800% damage while lowering their crit rate each turn. Not bad. Not bad. I am definitely impressed. Definitely impressed about that Noble Phantasm. Moving on to her stats. So this is where I can explain why I did not like her second skill so much. It's because I'm pretty sure she has the lowest HP stat of all 5-star casters, while she has the highest attack stat. So having a taunt doesn't really make sense to me, because you're pretty much saying, hey, come kill me. Doesn't make too much sense. But once again, if you're trying to bring somebody in and she's used up all her utility, well, GG, rest in peace. But looking at her stats, her Grail attack is 12,761. That is crazy high for a caster. It's really high for a caster. She has the highest attack stat, if I, from my research, of any caster. While her Grail HP is 14,204. The lowest Grailed HP of any caster. So you see how we have a trade-off here. She's definitely not as tanky, but she puts in a lot of work anyway, which is, what else can you ask for? Looking at her, we got her voice actor, we got her ID number, Genjao Sanzo, that's how she actually introduces herself. And her growth curve is an S curve. It's very common. The S curve is pretty much standard, I believe, at this point. Most characters do rock the S curve. And looking at her, I guess you call them hidden stats, her star absorption is 52. Look, she's a caster, it's not going to be that high. I think she probably has the highest NP, star absorption of any caster. But Ilya clocks in at 51 and she clocks in at 52. So the other ones start clocking at 49, 50. So it's not like it's crazy different. Her star generation is also a little bit higher than Ilya's, but 11% to 10%. It's not like it's that crazy though. It's not like she's making a lot. She has the same star generation as Tamamo. But Tamamo also has a 5-hit arts card, so it's a little different. Just a little bit. Moving on to her NP charge on attack, it is 0.82%. That's standard. There's nothing crazy about it. Ilya's is 0.32%, but that's because she has a 5-hit art card. It's like, hey, what's up? Merlin's got 0.81% too. Zug has he has a very high one. He has a 1.64%, but that's because his arch card only hits once. So, it's always a trade-off between how many hits your card does and your NP charge on attack. All their NP charges on defense are the same at 3%. Death rate is pretty standard at 34.5%. And she's lawful good because, she's a Buddhist monk, She's pretty good. She's kind of a good person. But, okay. Going over her stats just a little bit more, she has a 0.9 times modifier to all of her attacks because she is a caster. So it definitely makes it hard to make a more offensive caster because of that. A Berserker has 1.1 times, I believe, for example. So, an Archer also has 0.9 times. So she's never doing her maximum damage. So having that spamming of NP really does help, as it's always a high percentage attack. And once she gets her future buffs, she can actually do her job as an attack-focused caster, and puts her in the ranks of the best offensive casters in the game. I believe she is actually a little bit better than Ilya. Ilya's more of a survivability one. She's more of a go in, nuke you. So they have different roles in the offensive realm, but that's the only character you can compare it to, and this character, Ilya, isn't even out yet. So with her 3 arts cards, at 0.82%, she just keeps keeps it going pretty much. She keeps building it up. That's really all it is. She just keeps building the 2 hit. So she gets her MP off. And as I've said a million times in this video, her NP is why you're using her. You know, there's no other reason to use her unless you really like that plot. Anyway, back to the serious mode. Moving on to craft essences. I'm going to be upfront about this. Do not use Formal Craft on her. I do not believe Formal Craft is a good CE on her. If you want to use it, go for it. But her whole point of, as I said a million times, whole point is her MP, and her MP is a buster. So you want to give something that boosts her MP damage. There's two. I only recommend 2, maybe 3 CEs for her as of right now in global. That is Black Grail and Heaven's Feel. Straight up boost to NP damage. Maybe limited 0 over just if you don't have those 2 other skills, just to boost her buster damage a little bit. But I believe Black Grail Heaven's Feel is 100% the way to go if you're using her, as she is pretty much the best single, well, she becomes the best single target caster in the game. As of right now, she technically is, because there's no other ones. But moving on to team usage. Alright, she's super good at dealing with assassins, obviously. She completely nukes them. Assassins are even a little squishy anyway, so she just takes them out easy, quickly. Until Ilya, you know, she's the only one who can do that as a caster. You know, a lot of casters, yeah, they do extra damage, but it's not too useful. Because they don't have a good attack stat. She can work with an arts team, but Tamamo only helps her with getting her NP gauge up because her arts card buff. Also a nice little heal, of course, and the utility Tamamo provides with reducing cooldown will always be useful. So you could still use Tamamo, but I'm saying she's not the best person for her. Unfortunately, the best team for her would be a Merlin Waiver team with a Nero Bride in the back, in my opinion. So you can plug suit in Nero Bride when you need to and just keep building that damage, keep building up that NP gauge. She's not 100% Buster Crit, she's more like Buster Arts. That's why I'm saying the Waiver Nero, Waiver Nero Merlin team is probably the best way to run this. Nightingale is also a hidden secret who's really good because she does have a Buster card buff that will increase your damage even further. That's really all she's there for, and she can heal, which is pretty nice. And honestly, that's the only team that comes to my mind, I think. If you guys have any other thing else, make sure to put it in the comment section below. But finally, so should you pull? Honestly, you know, a single target caster is really niche right now. She's got a really good plot and great thighs. So if that makes her your waifu, then go ahead and pull for her, my children. It is okay, my fellow weebs. You do have to understand that she is not always going to be a limited servant, though. She will become part of the standard pool starting with Camelot. Once you complete Camelot, or once Camelot just unlocked for everybody, she joins the pool. A couple months away. That's why she's a quick event, 1 week. Not even, maybe. So that's why I'm a little hesitant. You know, I've also got Waiver. I've pulled Waiver twice. I pulled Tamamo like 5 times. I'm not looking to pull another 5-star caster, to be 100% honest with you. I'll be completely fine with it if I pull her, but I don't think I'll be able to use her until A, Merlin comes out, and B, her buff comes out. Those are the 2 things that makes her a good, like, A tier, A plus, maybe even A plus tier servant. So once that happens, you know, I'm happy to be patient. You know, there's no rush to pull her. I got a good enough team otherwise. I do love her design, but it's just not worth pulling, especially with Summer around the corner. Summer has great units in it, all around. So I say wait. Unless she's your waifu, I say wait. So this does not get the Whataweeb seal of approval this time, unfortunately. But once again, I'll always repeat that this is all about if you want to pull for them, you pull for them. I'm not going to tell you to not pull for your waifu. That's like me saying I wouldn't pull for Okita or something. You know, Okita's not even the best unit in the game, but she's my waifu, so I gotta pull for her. That's all it is. That's all it is at the end of the day. So if this video did help you guys out, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe to become a weeb today. Check out the previous one about Shuten Doji, a little review of her. Make sure to check us out on Twitch and on Twitter. On Twitch, we are streaming a lot of Fate Grand Order and a lot of Danmachi Memoria Freeze. So if you're interested in Fate, come on through. If you're interested in a new mobile game, possibly Danmachi Memoria Freeze, the anniversary is starting soon, so come on through. But honestly, if you got, honestly, I got nothing else to say. So, Xuanzang, big boobed, gender bent monk, she's coming. Are you gonna pull for her? Let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, this has been Durka, and sayo nada.